Today I am going to work on a patchwork sewing pattern, but I am not telling you which one it is yet. You can try to guess throughout the video and you will have the reveal at the end. I have 5 linens I'm going to work with. They vary from gingham, stripes, plain, and they're all just so gorgeous together. I can't wait to show you. So let's take a look. All the linens I got for this project, I've purchased over time through remnant sales from different shops. They are European linens and very good quality. This one here is a yarn dye with 2 different colors. Gives a little bit of a teal effect to it, which I really like. My next one is a pale gingham with the squares 1 centimeter in width. I wanted a contrast of pale with dark to add to my patchwork. This is obviously a stripe with thin stripe, dark blue, and natural linen. I think it's going to add a bit of contrast. Although this one looks like a solid dark blue, it's also a yarn dyed black and blue. You can kind of see it shine through. The center of the show of all my linen is this dark blue natural linen gingham. I just love it so much. I'm really going to take the time to see where I want to put the patch using this fabric. I haven't sewn a project since the yellow cumin puffy jacket, and that's been a couple months. So I am itching really hard to get sewing. I don't know if you get like that, when you haven't sewn in a while, if you're like, oh my God, I really need to sew something. So because I'm itching to make a project, and when that happens to me, I want to do this project a little faster. So I decided I'm going to use the serger to do both the finishing, like the clean finish of the serge edge with the seam. I am not worried about the threads showing through because it's a loose fitting pattern and there's not going to be any pressure on my seams. So that saves me steps and makes this project a little faster. If you haven't seen my other project before this one, the quilted Sanda jacket, go check it out. It was an epic sew and it's worth a watch. Hint, hint, hint. Here is some of the patchwork assemble. This is meant to be on the front and this one is meant to be on the back. The sewing project I'm doing has a straight bodice and I want to hack it so that I can add a button placket at the front. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do in case you want to do that on your next project or whichever top that is flat at the front, you're going to be able to do something very similar and add a button placket. So let's get going. So now there's not going to be any surprise as to which pattern I'm using because I am going to show you what I'm going to do on the printed paper pattern. All right, let me go get them. So the pattern I used is the Horizon Day Dress by Matchy Matchy Club. So if some of you have done the pattern before, this is the front bodice and it would be cut on the fold along this black line here. So let me zoom in so you can see well. So it would be cut on the fold and you would cut the pattern along this black line. I already knew that I wanted to add a button placket. So when I cut the pattern, I left the extra piece of paper instead of cutting some and taping again, which I don't like to do because it tends to unglued. Yeah, so we still want this
edge here to be our center front, you know, center front fold. So this is where our buttons are going to go, and the buttonholes once the placket is complete. So right away, this is a really good guidelines. So what I am going to tell you here, I'm not going to give you specific numbers to follow. I will at the end, but I'm going to give you principles so that if you want to use buttons that are, you know, 1 inch in width instead of these 1/2 inch button, you can do a bigger placket, or if you want to use very tiny buttons, you could just make a smaller placket. So this is just a much more versatile way of showing you than going with a standard measurement. Okay, let me take a sip of tea. With the buttons, since I know this is going to be my center front line, that black line, I want to have enough in it of an edge of fabric so that it sticks out a little bit past my button, just for aesthetic, so that I know here that this will be my outer edge. I need, for the underneath fold, you know, to make the back of the buttonhole, a distance that is from here to equal distance on the other side of my black line, with a little extra to hide the raw edge. So for hiding my raw edge, I decided of about this 1/2 centimeter width. And you can already see that I have a bunch of fold in my pattern because I was decided on how wide I wanted it last night. So I go over, fold my little edge as if it would be the button placket, fold it under, and then here it is. That would be what the button placket would look like for my project. So basically an equal amount distance before my center line here to there needs to go on the back side, plus a little lip for the folded in. So for me, for the size of the buttons I've selected for this project, that meant exactly, I think I'm going to zoom in here so that you can see better. Yes, you can see 2 inches. It's not exactly there. There you go, 2 inches. So for me, that was exactly 2 inches. And basically, you're going to use this method for both sides of your front bodice. You know, so normally this is just a plain straight pattern piece cut on the fold right here. But with the placket, it becomes 2 front panel. So yeah, I'm going to do exactly this method for my left shoulder, and then exactly the same for my right shoulder, and it should work out. Let me show you. I want to point out that with this technique, I want you to, before you sew, you know, before you sew your placket in here, it's good. So you press first, and then you line, let me change the camera angle in through here. So I'm gonna line, so I have my edge here, bottom, top, whatever I choose. But this edge, I'm gonna line it up perfectly and put it over. There we go. And yes, pretty much there. So by taking the time to check this before with your pattern piece. So let me turn the camera back the other way. We're gonna add a little light. Here we go. So as I said earlier, so this line here is my center front. So I folded my piece in, and I want this center front line to be in the middle of my button placket. So I'm gonna line my pattern piece, and then I'm gonna check if that works. And you can't see, I'm gonna press with this in case you can see. You can't see it, but there's a little bit of a lip there. I can feel it with my finger anyways. So that's what you want to do. So you're gonna put your pattern piece, and you want to press with your finger to see that this is where you want it to be. The advantage of that is that it's gonna avoid for you picking time, because if you made your placket a little too wide and it's not quite in the middle, you can of course change your fold, and if you need a little bit, you can take out a little bit of your lip, right? It doesn't need to be a 1/2 inch or a 1/2 centimeter. It could even be a 1/4 inch. That would be fine. So that gives you a little bit of leeway to adjust your button placket if you need to. And doing that before sewing, it just allows you to just have a little less picking afterward. So that's just one thing I wanted to share with you guys. So let's get going. There are many feet in our sewing machine that have more uses than the intended one. This is the blind ham foot G in Janome, but you probably have one, as most machines have it. It has a little screw here that you can see me roll, and a plastic adjustable liner. It adjusts to about maybe 1/2 centimeter. You can use it to follow an edge, and it allows me to sew very straight stitch line, which I'm going to use for this project. Here you see me hold my thread to avoid the knotting from the beginning of stitching, and then I'm going to back stitch. Yeah, so I'm going to use this foot to sew my entire button placket. I'm going to show you in a moment how straight my lines are. I wanted to show you the use of this foot in case you didn't know, because it took me a few years to discover it, and maybe you would like it. Here is my finished button placket. I just need to do the button holes and sew the buttons on. Here is the back. Now I'm gonna finish assembling the bodice. I know that I said that for the bottom part, the first part, I was only using the serger, and that was because it was the skirt and there's not going to be a lot of force on my seam. However, for my shoulder seam, so right here, the striped fabric is my back bodice and the darker blue is my front bodice. I did do the straight stitch with the sewing machine, finish with the serger, the edge, and then as you can see here, I top stitch, just because on the shoulder seam there's going to be the weight of the bodice and of all the skirts, and then with arm movement and all that, there's going to be more force on the seam. And I will do the same for my sleeve onto my bodice. So just sewn this, I'm going to serge and then top stitch. So let's go. Here is my finished bodice with front placket. I've already done the buttonholes to make it easier before it's attached to the skirt, which I will do right there. Obviously, because it's two front piece, it's not attached, it'll be harder to assemble. So I'm going to base stitch just here a couple line to stabilize the bodice in order to make it easier for me to sew the skirt to the top. Ta-da! Here's my finished dress. Let's take a closer look. Here we have my button placket. It turned out fantastic, guys. I hope you're going to give it a shot. I'm going to try it on in a second. I just want to point out how I finished my bias tape. Matchy Matchy Club in their instruction there's two techniques for bias tape. So Matchy Matchy Club, the technique they use is you sew from the outside and then you flip the bias tape on the inside, which is a good approach, but I decided to do the bias tape straddling like a horse saddle my edge because I had pre-done my buttonholes. That meant that if I would have flipped my bias tape, my buttonhole would have been a little too close for my taste to the edge. So that's the only reason why I decided to do the horse saddle type bias tape, that's all. All right, so let me show you this puppy. These are all my colors of different linen combined together. I'm really happy with the result. I'm happy I went from a straight panel here and then added 2 small pieces at the bottom of this one. This differs from Matchy Matchy Club's instructions. Those have you do 2 long panel at the front. I decided to keep one to show off my nice gingham, and for the center one to cut it and do 2 small pieces added to it to play with more of my fabric. I think this design choice add more personality to the design and allowed me to play with the stripe, let me walk closer to get them to meet in different directions. Really like the effect in the end. And I find the mix of gingham with stripe and the mix of colored fabric like this piece here and this piece just goes so well together. It's a little bit on the darker side, muted tone, but with all of them together, I love it. I think it's great. Let's take a closer look at my button placket. It turned out just perfect, I would say. I decided to not use fusible interfacing for this project because with the weight of the skirt, there's an overall drape, even though my linen is a little structured, that when I add interfacing, there's a little bit more rigidity here that doesn't match with the same drape of where there's no interfacing. So I really wanted this to hang better together, and I have no regrets. So this hack, guys, can be used for anything. You use the same principle. I'm going to show some other project in the future, but one reason why I decided to do this hack for this dress is that I am having a baby. And this dress is a great pattern for pregnancy. It's going to give me lots of room. And I must say I'm not the biggest fan of the pregnancy pants. They kind of, when you're big at the end, it hangs at the crotch and all that. I prefer choose dresses and skirts. And by adding this button placket, this dress is going to be wearable for months, if not a year after giving birth while nursing. So it's going to make it super easy access one way or another and allow me to wear the clothes I've made without it being a problem. If you tried out the button placket, please let me know of your experience in the comments below. If you will try it or are trying it and you need some clarification, also comment. I'll do my best to help you out. For now, if you found this video entertaining, please give it a like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in future videos. Salut!